Hello, welcome back to another episode of Modded Kerbal Space Program. Last time, Bobby took his first Duna ship part thing to orbit, and I spent a lot of time designing this lander, which I have now perfected, or at least I'm pretty sure I've perfected it, for the most part. I do need to put solar panels and batteries on it yet, which I forgot about. I did load it up into a sandbox and take it to Duna and attempt to land on it. I've added some more parachutes in the hopes of mostly just keeping my landing gear from exploding when I land, because that's what happened when I took it to Duna. I think that should work. We've got a lot of Delta V. It's a good thing this stuff likes to clip, even though clipping isn't actually enabled. It still clips for some reason, which is good because otherwise this probably wouldn't work. At least wouldn't work this well. I'd have to move a lot of stuff around and rethink our landing gear and engine strategy here, but everything seems to be working. I am going to do a little bit of basically a crash test here though with it. No, I'm not really going to crash it, but it's mostly just a landing test. If I can find the decouplers needed to make this work. Where are you at? There you are.
All right.
What are you up to?
Well, this is my this is the habitation sector of the interplanetary craft here. We got the solar panels extended. We're orbiting around Kerbin, and I actually had a design. So my next section is going to be basically a fuel storage section, and I had an idea, but now as I think of the idea, we won't be able to reuse it. I was going to take some of the narrower fuel tanks and radially put them around like a strut or something, or not a strut, but a beam. But then and then when they're empty, we could jettison them, make the craft lighter. But then I realized we wouldn't be able to reuse them, and that might be, not something we would want to do.
I mean, why would we need to reuse them?
Well, because we want to perhaps maybe take it back to Duna.
Right, but I mean, we could...
Or take it to another planet.
If you use docking ports, we could always reattach said fuel tanks.
We could.
And, repurpose parts of the ship. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if we have to drop some stuff along the way, it's, it's less ideal, but the other thing we could do is we could always attach, extra orange tanks on the end, like the opposite end, whatever the back of the craft is. And then as we're assuming are you designing a pooling section?
Yes. Remember,
right? Yeah, that's right.
The whole engine design.
That's right. So, on the opposite end from where the engines are, we can attach orange tanks if we need to, and just transfer fuel from the one on the end to the ones that are emptying, and then just decouple them when they're empty. And just let them fall off behind us, if we need to. Ideally, we're going to want to make this thing as economically small as possible, because it's just going to take longer and longer and longer for these engines to burn to get us there and to get us stopped, and it's just going to take forever. But
if we want to do that, your lander.
Mm-hmm.
What size docking port are you putting on it?
Just a regular size docking port.
Okay, because I have the junior docking ports on the side. I have 2 or 4 junior. Actually, let me go back and double check here.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I am test launching the lander here. I just stuck a mainsail on a small tank, and we're just going to launch and then deploy the chutes, basically, is what's going to happen here. In fact, I'm going to move the chutes into Actually, the chutes will go there. I'm going to pull this up because we're going to need to deploy our engines. Let's just do it. This should burn off pretty quickly. I'm not super concerned about how high we get here.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly up. Well, no, I'm going to fly up those engines.
Okay, let's stage that.
Well,
that's fine. Let's deploy these engines. We're going to throttle down. Oh, did I deploy them? I deployed them the wrong way.
Yeah, I have 2 docking port juniors on the side of my science bay.
Okay.
And then 2 regular ones on each end.
All right, so I've deployed that.
Are you gonna have 2 docking ports on your lander?
I don't, but I could think of a way to make it so we do.
I could.
Okay, so we got that. We need to deploy the chutes. And we need to extend the landing gear. This isn't going to be a very good test because obviously the atmosphere is a lot thinner on Duna, but the gravity's a lot stronger here, so we'll see. I have an awful lot of chutes, so hopefully they're enough to...
Alright, so this is my module for the station engine. Now, the way the engines are designed on here, I really can't... Well, I can add, actually...
What's the problem?
Well, I'm trying to figure out where we're going to put your lander. I mean, I've got 2 large tanks here.
I was figuring the lander was just going to go on the end.
Go on the end, but you said we want to add extra tanks on the end.
Well, I mean, I could add tanks. We would just have to figure that we would have to ditch all of the tanks before we use the lander.
Okay. Well, just as...
Because I could put, like, on the bottom of the heat shield of this thing, I could put a decoupler and then attach a docking port to said decoupler.
All right. Well, just as a safety, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach 4 docking ports. I'm going to attach... Let's see here. How big is an orange tank compared to this tank? Well, actually, no, we don't want to send up an orange tank. We actually want to send up these tanks. So yeah, you know what? I'm just going to...
I also think we determined that, if I remember correctly, and I'm not sure we ever solved it, but I think we determined that your stage plus everything we're bringing doesn't have enough delta V, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Because we needed like a shit ton.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So just as you know, as a design choice, I added 4 regular sized docking ports to the topmost tank here. And the good thing is I will be able to take my probe core and attach it to one of them to fly it up.
Okay, so the lander, I think, is probably good to go. When we take it to Duna, we will probably have to fire the engines as we land, just as we hit the ground for safety reasons, because otherwise there's a strong chance that the landing legs could very well explode. Probably not a good thing. I do need to put some solar panels on here and some batteries. Just put no, I don't want 4. I would like 2-way symmetry, please. we'll just put 2 there. Let's open this guy up. And I think maybe we can put some batteries on this side. That's probably a little big. You know what? Maybe just rotate? No, rotate this way, maybe.
We got a new command pod, too. This is the MKV Scout command pod, a rugged 2-man pod with integrated ideal for colony dropships.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There we go. Close. Sure. That sticks out a lot. It's weird. Okay.
It's not letting me.
Save. Okay, so let's take a look here at the ship that you put in orbit so I can kind of get an idea of what I've got to work with. Assuming, are we going to put this on the end?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of any other way to keep the whole thing balanced without putting it on the end.
Yeah, it's going to have to go on the end.
So what is your plan for adding... Are we attaching fuel tanks to the end of this thing, then?
We'll have to attach fuel tanks radially.
Okay, we're going to attach them radially.
Radially, yes.
So we're going to have to remember... Well, radially where?
All right, so I have a pure liquid fuel tank. And I just attached on 4 sides, I attached 4 docking ports to it. And so we'll just attach them there. They're up high enough where they won't cause any interference with the engines. I mean, may heat up the engines, but we could, I guess in theory...
They shouldn't be in front of the engines.
Well, when the engines spin around, they will. Hold on, let me...
Wait, what?
Well, when the engines flip and rotate.
The engines should be at the very end of the ship. They should be the
yes.
very absolute front of the ship.
They will be at the absolute front of the ship, but they're going to be pointing backwards.
Right,
they're
but
pulling.
Wouldn't that put the fuel tanks you're radially attaching backwards?
No, because they'll fire into them.
Wait. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Okay, so the engines, the 4 nuclear engines come out of the center and rotate 180 degrees.
Right.
I could...
Okay.
And so then they'll be pointing back at the radially attached engines.
The engines will be pointing back at the fuel tanks?
Or yeah, at the radially attached fuel tanks.
I don't think you can have engines pointing at something else. Like, I think it negates the thrust. Or if nothing else, the engines are going to heat that part up until it explodes.
Well, exactly. That was my that was my whole point. That was my general concern. As I look at this with the engines extended now.
I do have a thought. Instead of making the engines come out on all 4 sides like we did, move it around, readjust how I designed that thing, so that instead of coming out in 4 directions, it comes out in 2 directions with the same number of engines, and then you mount the fuel tanks on the opposite sides.
I gotcha.
I don't know how that's probably not going to be easy to accomplish, but okay, so I see what you've got up here already. Excellent. Where did you put... Did you put You didn't put RCS on this stage, did you?
Yes, there's RCS and a reaction control wheel.
What did you bring? Where's the RCS?
It's there.
It's inside the service bay.
Yeah. The RCS fuel is inside the service bay.
Okay, we need to figure on bringing, like, maybe I'll bring it with the lander, but we need to figure on bringing, like big tanks of RCS to refill the lander from.
Okay, I have the larger RCS tank on it's in between my two pure liquid fuel tanks.
Oh, okay, you've got it on that.
That'll be coming.
That stage.
Yeah, that'll be coming up with that. Between that and the other RCS fuel tanks, hopefully we should be set.
Yeah, I'm going to set up this this lander with a docking port on the back of it, just in case, we get your stage up there and we determine that it's not going to have enough Delta V that we can attach more fuel tanks.
Well, that's why I'm redesigning it. No, that's why I'm redesigning mine. Slightly. That's why we're moving the engines, was to possibly add more fuel tanks.
Right, but we're not gonna want to keep adding outwards like that, are we? That'll probably make it really unstable, won't it? At a point. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, are we gonna really need 4 extra? Well, that's what we should do.
Very possible. We needed to double the amount of... I think we needed to at least to double the amount of Delta V you had in that stage, if I'm remembering correctly. And we're not, we're obviously not 100% sure how much Delta V we actually need, because we can't really stick all these ships together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously we can try, but... All right, well, I'm gonna start putting this thing together to try and take it up, but I'm still gonna attach a docking port on the back just in case.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see any reason not to, basically.
Yeah. No. Then I'm still going to. I like the idea of moving the engines further out, anyways. So.
All right. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna need a decoupler. Those are under
robotic parts.
Utility. I still wish we had the senior docking ports, but all right. So there's that. We've got our decoupler on the back. We've got all that.
Really attach them?
All right, so now I need Delta V to take this whole thing up. So, and we're going to need RCS fuel to dock because, docking, and we don't want to really use the RCS in the lander if that can be avoided. So I'm actually going to turn off those tanks. So we've got that. And then we're going to need fuel. And we'll actually have to give some, probably some more. Okay. Some more things and stuff and things. Because I remember my train of thought perfectly well, I swear. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's 1,600 Delta V. It's not enough. Thrust to weight ratio is pretty good. Snag this guy and put that there. And then we're going to need this guy and some fuel tanks. One. That's not the right fuel tank. Come on. I clicked you. 2, 3, 4. Maybe. And then this guy. Bamf. That is plenty of delta V. Let's take and put a reaction wheel in here. Do we have bigger batteries? We don't, but can I scale this guy? We can. That didn't attach. Why did that attach? Oh, there we go. All nice and attached. There we go. Scaled. Awesome.
I want that going.
I'm going to actually decouple that, and we're going to put a probe core here. This one, yeah, we're gonna put that guy right there. I'm gonna have to use some struts there because that's a stability nightmare if I've ever seen one. That should help. Oh, yeah. We're going to see if this will work without a fairing, because I don't particularly want to put a fairing on this. Okay. Excellent. I mean, we should be good to go. We don't want him in there. All right, let's just even see if this is gonna launch. How are things going on your end?
Good. I'm kind of messing with the design in my head here a little bit. So if those, still need those two.
All right. Well, we're at the end of the episode. I will save launching and rendezvousing this guy until next time. Yeah, if you liked the video, click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time for some more modded Kerbal Space Program. Thanks for watching. Bye.